Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is continue to bring you the best in audio content related to psychological, mental, and emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, and ultimately kind of make things come forward in a positive direction there and making things, be assigned in a positive way. The couple ways you can reach out at PO Perception on Twitter. And this is our Life Lesson Series. Life Lesson Series can be helpful in a number of ways, including but not limited to the idea of just things that life is trying to teach us that we may not be paying full attention to. This is number 256, and hopefully we continue to add to these for your benefit. The inner game is very important. Your inner game is super important because knowing how to master your mind is one of the most important things that you can do for your own benefit in a variety of ways. Not to mention that when we look at our inner game, we can kind of address strengths, weaknesses, the things that matter to us, the things we're overvaluing, and ultimately leading in a direction that isn't necessarily as positive as we would like for it to be. And so identifying those things is or can be super important, and knowing how to do that in a manner which is conducive to what we're trying to accomplish is also very important. So as we begin to understand how to do that, we then ultimately can kind of balance things out in a positive direction and make things come in a good way. Um, and again, there's a certain level of identifying the ways in which we are focused in a positive direction, and um, there's a good benefit to doing just that. So um, the next thing there is the impact, your impact, understanding the impact of the ways in which we begin to understand the value of identifying the manner at which we are able to connect things in a positive direction, the impact we want to have, and knowing the impact that things come forward when we are focused on serving humanity as a whole. And when we focus on service to humanity, we also then begin to understand how to focus our desires, our mindset, and ultimately the way in which we begin to know the things that matter most. And there's a level to do what matters for our own benefit in a number of ways, and again, identifying those patterns and things that allow us to move forward. The next thing is understanding the impact of patterns in general. So every person follows patterns. When you know the patterns that are going to make you successful, you can follow them. When you know the patterns that are going to cause you to be less effective than you want to be, you can avoid them. And identifying the patterns that matter most is a very important thing to do for a number of reasons. When we know the patterns we are working through, we can then make decisions based on how to modify our behavior to be able to maximize life. And also, we can identify where we're sabotaging ourselves easier when we accept that life is just nothing more really than a series of patterns, positively or negatively motivated by whether the patterns we're in the middle of are structured to help or hurt our overall process. The next thing that life may be trying to get you to learn is about the need to learn new things. Learning and growing is one of the essential factors to having a balanced life. If you're not learning and growing, you're dying on the inside or from the inside out. And so people don't begin to understand the value to identifying the ways at which they are um, the ways at which they are ultimately, coming forward in a good way. And it becomes super valuable for a number of reasons to learn how to monitor what we learn. And it doesn't necessarily matter what we learn specifically as much as it does that we are committed to the learning process. The process of learning is something that we can benefit from identifying and being focused upon in a good way, in a directive way, and continually committing to the process of. And so ultimately, knowing how to learn in a good manner is important if we're trying to move forward continually in our own sort of way and in a good manner. Anyway, so hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.